to go outside because there's because he wants to go outside because he's a dog. But he can't go outside because I had my exterminator come spray a bunch of stuff around my backyard.
Pork's like severely allergic to bees. So during the summer, my exterminator comes once a week, and then he doesn't do anything to kill the bees, but he sprays like something that's like kind of like a mint or something in the front part of my house, over in a corner on each corners, to detract the bees from the backyard and the pool. And then he sprays something for mosquitoes around like my whole lawn. Yeah, Pork is severely allergic to bees. I stepped on a bee the other day too, so that's why I was like, fucking show up. I stepped on a bee. Mint, yeah, I don't know if it's real mint or not. He sprays like a high concentration in the corners on each side of my gate, like in the corners, because the bees are smart. So they learn a water source and then they revisit that water source, right? So I have a pool. So they've learned I have a pool and they try to revisit my pool. So I ended up putting bee water sources on the side of my house, which are basically like bird feeders, glorified bee bird feeders, water bird things. I don't know. And mint to keep them away from my yard.
My dog Chubb had a crazy allergic reaction happen one night. He literally looked like a dog for 1 second. The next day he looked like Bart Simpson. Aww, I'm glad he got to go to the vet though. Yeah, I use everything I use around my house is organic. The only animals I do not help out, like I'm not even mean to spiders. I really hate rattlesnakes. I've never had one in my area, but I also hate rattlesnakes for obvious reasons. But fucking the spiders that have the red on them, what are they called? Black widows. I fucking hate black widows with a passion, like so much. I had 2 black widows in my garden last week, and it was disgusting because they had baby eggs. Yeah. Black widows are not necessarily deadly to humans, but this little dog and my other dog, they could be deadly for sure. It could definitely do damage, but Western medication, they're not deadly anymore. I don't mind roaches, actually. They don't bother me. Roaches don't bother me. Oh, ow. How was that? True. Florida does have giant roaches, though. I don't want to answer any sexual questions. I'm just not feeling that today, so yeah, ask me on Twitter.
Scarlett Johansson bit me once and I just had a red mark from her teeth. Feisty. All right, so should we try and kill this boss again? Yeah, well, I like bees. I actually have a garden, right? And I have flower gardens. So it's like a weird thing with me and bees. I stepped on a bee the other day. Yesterday. Like, me and bees have a weird relationship. Like, I hate them, but like I save them. And also like I don't hate them, but like I hate them like in my zone. But I also have a garden and flowers. So like I want them to be like in my zone a little bit. But then I don't want them to be like there when I don't want them to be there, you know? Because I get stung like a motherfucker. Like, I don't know what happens, but for some reason, anytime there's a bee in the area, I get stung. Like, if you ask anybody, how many times in my Twitch career have I been stung? I'm not quite sure. Like, at least 6 times. At least 6 times. It's like a weird thing for me. Because other people I know have gone their whole life and they've been stung by a bee. Maybe once. I literally got stung in 1 year 3 times. I got stung by a wasp twice in 1 year. So I just don't understand. So I'm like, yeah, I like you, but fuck you, you know? Oh, ow. What happens when they sting your tongue? It's like a sting of love. Like when you pinch a girl or you tickle them. If you tickle me, I'm gonna knock you in the face. And then be like, I'm ticklish. Thanks, Doisy. Recovery is going well. Thank you for asking. It's super weird. Oh, did you, cyberspace? That's exciting. Maybe they think you're a flower. Well, how do I make sure I'm the flower they don't want to fucking touch? You're terrified of ladybugs. I don't necessarily like ladybugs in my garden either. I have a weird relationship with ladybugs as well. Because ladybugs are good for your garden in a certain amounts, but then they can overrun your garden. So you kind of have to keep them at bay as well. It's a never-ending fight with them. A lot of the times yeah. So I try to keep 6 to 10 ladybugs in my garden at all times. So once a year or twice a year, I end up having to like capture ladybugs. This year, I just recently started my veggie garden again. So I look like a crazy woman because I'm like, everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, capturing the ladybugs. The population's grown too big, you know? And I'm like putting them into a plastic Tupperware. But they keep out the other type of like weird bugs. They eat a lot of the other ones. I think my veggies are pretty good, yeah. I showed them on stream the other day, but they've literally just like blossomed. They boomed. They boomed. I have a treatise with spiders. The argument is they have full reign of the house as long as I never see them. Once broke our pact and paid the price one day. Dave, I have something to tell you about your treaty. So your treaty might have a clause in there that says only if awake. Because you eat spiders in your sleep. Like they just like go in your mouth and you eat them. Like people eat a lot of spiders in their sleep. That's not true. Dig into the source. Listen, the bottle cap on Lipton flavored apple tea told me that, so it must be true. Okay? Where else would I get my random facts? See? It wouldn't be true if Lipton didn't say so. Just like, exactly like the jokes on popsicle sticks are funny. Even if you think they're not, they are jokes. It's the same thing with the bottle caps. It is true. The Snapple lady doesn't lie. Exactly. I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you till you love me. I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you till you love me. Papa, paparazzi, baby in the other way. Papa, paparazzi. Nah, he just didn't know that I know one of the most famous songs ever. Maybe that was his line. Have you played Only Up? No. I turned on the light and a spider was in my water. I can't take a sip of water without turning my light on now. You are forever scarred, Darbs. Questions about my bag, he choose not to answer them right now. If I randomly talk about it, yes, but I appreciate the care. I just want to think out of it. Ben and Jerry lied to me with this new flavor. Ben and Jerry's been kind of fucking up for years, though. Let's be honest. Whatever bug that is, I hate it. What's the funniest shit to ever happen to you on set? I don't know. Shit. Like, literally and not figuratively. Like, shit. Because sometimes it's funny when it happens in a funny way. Yeah. Welcome to porn. Let's move on from the triple X questions. That's the one and only one I'm going to answer. Because it was dirty. Everyone's always like, oh my God. As if you fucking... Yeah. All right. I'm going to pee and then we're going to fight this boss. It's the last time I'm going to pee and we're going to fight this boss.